So I'm going to show you how to cut a nail with my own special technique here. So you can see this is a cross section of one of my dog's nails, and you can see there's a little circle section in there. Now you can't always see that in all nails. For example, if it's a black nail, you won't be able to see it. And also if this top part of the nail, which is like from the top of the paw, is grown over and there's a little hook, you can't see it, and it forms more of like a canoe shape. But then deeper in the nail there is actually a circle here, and this circle is the quick. That is the quick, but it's the dead quick. It's past the end where the nerves and the blood vessels have grown to, and so she can't feel that when I scratch that area there. Okay, so when we're wanting to cut the nail, obviously we don't want to cut where the quick is, but even if you miss the quick, if you cut the nail past the quick up here, it still pinches the entire nail, like in this direction. Alright, so in order to prevent the pinching of the nail by clipping in that direction, what we can actually do is we can actually clip on an angle across the nail. So you can see here, actually we're getting a cross section of the nail. We're not getting the whole nail when we clip. There we go. Now she doesn't need much off, so we don't need to clip much, but just on an angle like that. And that way you're not actually compressing the entire nail, and you can just chip away at the edges of the nail and get around the edges. And then what happens is you end up with the middle section of the nail sort of poking out a bit there, and you can even just scratch away and feel that. And this way you're grinding down the nail very slowly, and you're going to notice when you get a little bit too close to that quick. And it's also going to be more obvious if it's uncomfortable, because when you touch here, it shouldn't be dry and flaky like that when you hit the quick. So that's a sign you haven't hit the quick yet. See that? It's dry and it's just coming away. So that's all dead and old. So you know you haven't gone too fast, and you can go a little bit further on an angle again. Like that, see? See that angle? Clipped in that direction. I haven't gone too far on my dog because she didn't need that much off, but this is a very safe way to chip away and cut away at your dog's nail without it being likely. There we go, she's starting to feel it a bit now when I touch there, so I'm going to stop. We've gone far enough for today. And this is a good way to cut small amounts off regularly in a way that's not particularly painful for your dog. But again, make sure that you get some nice sharp clippers, and even if you just clip this section here at an angle like that, that's often the hardest part of the nail. As you can see in this one, the hardest part of the nail is often this outer bit at the front here. This inner bit wears away quite easily. So just cutting off a little bit of that outer nail there, like that, can actually help a lot with the strength of the nail, meaning that it'll wear down this inner bit much easier. Okay, so that's how I clip my dog's nails. And it still worries her a bit. I think it's still a little bit uncomfortable, but it's not nearly as bad as when you pinch all the way across. She would absolutely hate that. That'd be very painful for her. So yep, that's how I do dog's nails. So you'll notice that my dog was very well behaved for all of this. I think it's because she's never really had a particularly painful experience before when I've clipped her nails, and so she doesn't have that fear. But it is worth noting that if you have clipped your dog's nails and they've bled before, or it's been really painful, that you can't actually desensitize a dog to the process of something that's painful and expect them to then be able to be happy with it. It's kind of like desensitizing a person to being punched in the arm, right? So it doesn't matter how many treats you give me, how many bits of chocolate you give me, if you then punch me in the arm, it's still going to hurt. So it's the same thing with trimming nails. People wonder sometimes why they do all this desensitization, then they, at the final step, they clip the nail and it hurts the dog, and they wonder why the dog's not getting used to it if they're doing all the right things. And it's because it actually hurts. And so we need to try and do it in a way that doesn't hurt. So this is just one method that you can use. There's other methods as well, like scratching boards and Dremels and things like that. But this is the way that I actually clip my dog's nails when using nail clippers.